jokes.
I'll make some Valve turning jokes. Hello, we're live with another episode of BS Busters. The main edition, the core of the channel, BS Busters, you still fucking up edition. Because apparently there's some companies that, despite all of they've been through, all the bullshit that's gone on, they still can't help, well, fucking up. But before we dive into this pile of BS, I'll have the panelists introduce themselves. So go ahead, Joel, introduce yourself, and then we'll go with Pinky and dive into this pile of BS.
Trash. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys as well, just welcome to the BS Busters. I am Joy Lemon Star, welcoming you to this trash cleaning episode. Hopefully, we'll be able to withstand the stench.
And this is Piggy Dog for Video Game Facts. And this week has been pretty interesting in terms of gaming news.
And if anything, we did miss a few things last week, if I think about it, but right now we still got some fresh stuff to get through.
All right. Well, let's get into it. And I guess we should start with Capcom, or should we call it Crapcom? Capcom has had a double fuck up over the last month and a half, but it's come to my attention that with some of the new games they've come out with. Well, first of all, the Nintendo tax has returned. For those of you who don't know,
if anybody's wondering, this is where people are getting charged full price for games that have been out for so long on other systems that the price has dropped.
Up by a lot. So basically, here's what I'm talking about. This week or last week, depending on how you want to look at it, the Resident Evil 1, 0, 1, and 4 came out on the Switch. Now, these aren't like revamped or upgraded or, like up-res or anything like that. There's no new content being added. It's the same shit that was there before. They're just ports. They're literally just ports of shit that already existed. But they're charging 50% more for these games. For example, 50% more retail brand new. Because here's the thing. You can get all these games for cheaper. How's it going, Kenoshi?
Kenoshi?
Are you there? Indiana Jones.
Do you copy?
To try to resume, I think the basics of it is, I was going to say, to try to resume a little bit, the basis of it is that somehow we end up with getting nearly a higher price, or we're paying the price that it used to be when it first launched, when it's so much cheaper on the other systems, like about $20
other places,
if I think about it.
In other places, it's cheaper. For example, I can get, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4, you can get Resident Evil 4. How's it going, Sophie?
Hey, what's up?
We're talking about that Capcom tax. I mean, that Nintendo tax that Capcom is charging for these Resident Evil games. Like, you can get Resident Evil 4 for the Xbox One right now for like under $20, brand new. You can get Resident Evil 0 for the GameCube for under $20 right now. for what it originally came out on. You can get it for under $20. And yet, for this new system, they're charging $29.99, which is $50 more than what they retail for, because you can get them on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One for like $19, and that's digitally. Okay, they're charging you more digitally for this shit,
which is highly BS.
Yeah, it's some suspect shit, all right. But hey,
I mean, they've been going well with Mega Man 11, and then they pull up this stunt on us, Switch owners.
yeah, but it's Capcom. Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, Capcom's back. I'm like, Capcom isn't back until I see the evidence that they're back. I'm like, a few games is not a comeback. A few games after years and years of fucking up is not a comeback.
No, yeah,
I was going to say, I'd say at least one generation that they didn't screw up would suffice as them coming back.
No, I wouldn't even say a generation. I would say a comeback is when you have at least 3 years of solid, good games. If all you are is a games manufacturer, like all you are is a developer. If you have 3 years of good games coming out where you aren't fucking up, that's a good video game company. Developer. Okay. And Capcom.
So if anything, you're being more generous.
No, Capcom hasn't had 3 years of good games come out in a long time.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're being a bit generous, because I was giving them a generation, meaning that it would last about 5 years.
Yeah, but that's too generous. 3 years of good game, because I mean, and before anyone says, well, 3 years of good games coming out for a developer, that's impossible. Sega's done it, not recently, but they've done it. Atlas has done it. Enix has done it. Platinum has done it.
There's a line that's done this so far.
HAL has done it.
Which has included people that's been getting trashed on.
Rare has done it. Not under Microsoft, but back in the day when they were under Nintendo, they did it. They did it. Let's see who else was able to do it.
Level 5?
Who?
Level 5.
Yeah, Level 5 was able to do it. Well, I mean, Level 5's output wasn't that high, but I mean, if you look at all the games they came out with, most of them were really good for the longest time. Like before they became big under Nintendo, those Turrican games were good, all 4 of them. Super Turrican, Super Turrican, Mega Turrican, Super Turrican 2. Then Rogue Squadron. No, I'm sorry, Factor 5. Factor 5 is what I'm thinking about. Level 5 is they're the
ones behind Professor Layton, Yokuni, and
yeah, they're the Yokai Watch people. Well, I mean, Yokai Watch is hit or miss. Like the first 2 games are good. The third game kind of like they were trying way too hard to be like Pokemon, even though like Yokai Watch, like its strength was that it wasn't like Pokemon. And then they were like, no, it needs to be like Pokemon. We have 2 different versions. If you want to get like, I mean, it was just some bullshit, really. But I mean, I like Yokai Watch, but I like the fact that it was not trying to be like Pokemon, and then they tried to make it like Pokemon, and that fucked it up. But that's neither here nor there. But Level 5, yeah, Level 5 was able to do it back in the day. Like, okay, Level 5, the first game they made under themselves was Dark Cloud. Okay, and they did Dark Cloud 2. Then they did Dark Cloud 3 unofficially, aka Rogue Galaxy. And they did Dragon Quest 8, and then Dragon Quest 9. And all 5 of those games are really good. Then they did Fantasy Life, which was also really good. So that's 6 really good games, and then they fucked up. No, then they did Yokai Watch and Yokai Watch 2, and those did pretty well. And then they fucked up with, we're gonna make Fantasy Life into a mobile game. So then they started fucking up. But they had a good run for a few years. But yeah, Capcom just can't stop. They can't stop. They're like Rockefeller Records. They can't stop, won't stop fucking up.
Can I stop planting my face into my hand for a moment?
Sure.
Because that was terrible. I mean, what Capcom is doing.
Hey man, we can't stop.
Besides, if anything, I think we got more on the list.
Oh yes. It continues because the bullshit is never ending, really. Which segues nicely into the next level of big steaming pile of bullshit, which is Square Enix. boy.
Yeah, this is
I should mention that I made a slight mistake on my part in regards to Square Enix's BS.
We were just about to go in.
Yeah. I just wanted to recently mention something that whatever we're going to be talking about, turns out we might have made a small mistake on the information regarding Square's quote unquote BS.
You mean their mobile game?
Yeah. Turns out.
Go ahead, because I was just bringing it up.
If you have to make a redaction, that's okay. But there's some other bullshit that's nothing to do with the mobile game. But go ahead.
Turns out that the Octopath Traveler mobile game that they're going to be developing, they just announced, is actually a prequel to the first game, whereas a direct sequel to Octopath Traveler will still come to the Switch. It'll take a few years.
That's still kind of stupid, though.
And facepalm.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's still kind of stupid. And I'll tell you the reason why. And I'll tell you why it's
because
stupid. Because
this is Star Wars dumb, if I think about it.
Because the resources that they're devoting to that could be spent
elsewhere.
Like, and not to mention that has Square Enix learned that side stories and prequels and after stories, no one gives a shit about those things when it comes to established games. You don't believe me? Go look at Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. No one gave a shit about that.
I was
prequels are kind of boring.
I was making the reference of Star Wars doing that.
Prequels are kind of boring and sometimes pointless. Like, we don't need a prequel.
No, the only prequels that are kind of cool are Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons and Link's Awakening, because technically they're one big prequel to the original Legend of Zelda.
And so is A Link to the Past, which is also confirmed to be a prequel to the original.
But you never know. You never know that those 3 games are a prequel until you get to it's until you get to the very end of the game. Like you have no idea what's going on until you get to the very end. So it's like the games aren't predicated on being prequels. Like, I don't know why Square Enix did this. I don't know what's going on over there, but I mean, they've been doing stupid shit for years now, so why stop now, Why end now? Why, You're in the ditch. You're not getting out. So, why stop just digging yourself deeper? Maybe you'll keep on digging and reach the other side of the world. But they've had another game come out that turned out to be a steaming pile of shit, folks. And it is a Front Mission spinoff. It's called Left Behind. Yeah, and really, this game should have been left behind. Left behind on the cutting room floor.
Oh,
is it another one of those cinematic movie games?
No.
Yep.
It's actually like a budget third person shooter. With occasionally you can jump inside of a Vonzer, which are the mechs in the Front Mission universe, and shoot people and blow up vehicles and shit. But mostly you go around finding crafting material to build traps and make weapons that you can use to take out really shitty AI'd enemies. And run around. Really, like, the game basically is designed like a PS2 game. The problem is that we're two gens being like it would have been fine 15 years ago on the GameCube or the PS2 or the original Xbox, but we've gone beyond this in terms of gameplay design. So the fact that this game is the way it is now is like, really, bro? This is what you came up with, really?
I was gonna say, is it Kingdom Hearts levels of really?
Really, that's what they came up with. We have some comments here, which we'll get to. But hello, Jorge Zaldivar. Hello, Luis Mendez. We'll get to you if you have any questions or comments. We'll get to you soon enough. But yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I'm embarrassed personally by the whole thing. I think it's bullshit. But you guys know who I am. I'm the type of person who, if I see something that's shady, I'll just say it's shady, and it's fucking shady.
Yeah.
Have any of you got a chance to play the new Devil May Cry? Going back to Capcom.
I saw someone playing it. I did not play it.
I bought the game. I didn't get it full price. I got it $40. It's not the nightmare we all expected it to. We all were expecting it was going to be.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I didn't think Devil May Cry 5 was that bad. But then again, I am one of the people that liked DMC, so
yeah, I liked it too, and I
for me, I enjoyed the sense of humor of DMC more than I enjoy the atypical bullshit from the normal DMC series.
Yeah, I agree, and I feel that at least in this game, they kept a few things from the DMC reboot that they tried to make it. Playing it, they didn't completely abandon those ideas, or a lot of those ideas. So
yeah,
that's kind of why I like. That's why I like this game.
Yeah.
I didn't like the DMC reboot. So
could have been worse.
That's the thing. Like, I actually liked the reboot. I liked where they were going. I liked that Dante didn't have white hair because that's just kind of fucking weird. Yeah. I liked that he was kind of like a petulant, immature man-child.
Yeah, he's like.
Speaking
he had one of the most interesting main character interactions with the Slurm boss.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like, fuck you! No, fuck you! Fuck you!
He kind of reminds me of Travis Touchdown.
Well, I mean, because that seems like something Dante would actually do. Because he's like, that's the thing. People are like, yeah, Dante. I'm like, look, Dante is not Mario or Link or Samus or Lara Croft. Like, he's not this established character that has an established personality. Like, he's not some sacred cow video game character. Get the fuck over it, man.
And speaking of Devil May Cry, there's another Did you hear that the PS4 version of DMC5 got censored somehow?
Well, that wouldn't surprise me because Sony thinks they're going to reach that broad family crowd.
What did they censor? I think I know what they censored.
They censored Trish's bare butt in one cutscene.
You mean Lady, right?
Yeah.
Lady. Yeah, her name. Yeah, I figured they'd censor that.
Yeah, because Sony thinks they're going to get those. They're going to get those PS4 numbers over 100 million units sold. By basically becoming content Nazis, which is just laughable.
And this is weird because the nudity in Devil May Cry games are always censored, despite their M rating.
I don't know. I'm just telling you that it's bullshit. But whatever.
I think there might be something. I think maybe in Japan they might have something against if you show like nipples or something, then you get a different.
Yeah, in Japan they're not allowed to show pubic hair.
Yeah.
So it's all censored.
I don't really care. It doesn't bother me.
No, it's just that's the thing. They're not, which is weird because as someone who actually went to Japan and went to art courses and studied ukiyo and wood paintings and wood and spring books and stuff like that, which is what they gave newlyweds. I mean, really, like the Japanese before Christianity came over and fucked them over, like they were kind of off the chain and cool too, cool about the shit, and then Christianity came and fucked them over. Oh well. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Square Enix been fucking up. Capcom been fucking up. I feel kind of bad about it because, I mean, like I wish Square Enix wasn't fucking up. I wish that they'd come up with a front mission game that I actually wanted to play. But when I saw this game's like early reviews, I was like, this is gonna fucking suck. And and it did. It did suck.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's a budget game. There's tons of budget games that I play that I like. Like I'm playing Yakuza Kiwami right now. That's a budget title. It was like $16. $16 on PC. So, but I have nothing against a budget game, but this shit is ridiculous. Anything else to say about Square Enix before we move on to the other juggernaut of bullshit on our list?
Nope.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess it's time
Who
to
could
get
top
to the other
that?
Well, EA could. EA could top that bullshit. EA is bullshit.
What do they do?
Well, they're dropping out. They're not going to be having a conference this E3.
So I guess their conference won't be graded as a conference, just like Nintendo's conference isn't graded as a conference at E3. It's like, well, Nintendo didn't have a conference; they had a digital presentation. So no matter how awesome Nintendo's digital presentation may be, it doesn't count because it's not a conference. Do you think that double standard will be in play this year at this year's E3 too?
No, because this industry is full of cowards. That's why.
Well, it's full of something. It's not cowards. It's full of shit. They're full of shit. Is what they are.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's my own personal opinion. Here's the thing, okay? Like EA has nothing to show. They never have anything. Every year they come out and they have nothing to show. Their big game is Anthem, and that game isn't doing too well. Okay.
But who would have saw that coming from a mile away?
Like no one, because BioWare's been shit for years. Okay. And part of it is EA's fault, and part of it is BioWare's fault. But the company is just garbage. So, anyone else have anything to say about EA? Anything else?
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna try to copy Nintendo and Square's digital presentation.
Well, they're both copying. Well, Square was copying Nintendo, and now they're like everyone is starting to copy Nintendo. Oh, we don't need to have this big conference. We can just have a digital conference.
Which, I was hoping they would do, actually, because it doesn't make sense to do this shit.
Unless you have something important to show. But this is just showing that E3 is becoming increasingly more irrelevant. And the only thing I'm going to say about that is that E3, if E3, like, here's what gamers don't fucking understand about E3. They're, like I keep on seeing people on YouTube in the gamosphere. E3 is like Christmas for gamers. No, Christmas is Christmas for gamers, you stupid motherfucker.
See, the thing is, I would just like to pass out a bucket of fried crow and dessert humble pie, because we've been saying this for years that E3 is going to become irrelevant, and these people are going to shift to like digital events, or they're going to create their own venues and have their own events and have their own day or week or whatever.
And the sad thing,
you're full of shit.
And the sad thing about all of it is this: E3 doesn't have to be like this. E3 didn't have to be like this. See, here's the thing: E3 was initially made to cater to the business side of the electronics industry, so that they could go to their investors and say, "Hey, look, we're showing off to the press and to the business side of it, the investors, right?" That's what it was made out of. But it grew out of the Consumer Electronics Show. That's what E3 grew out of. That's where it came from. They forgot that they should have been catering to the people who were going to be fucking using their products. Okay? Like, had E3, first of all, E3 for the longest time wasn't even open to the public. Like the first 3 or 4 years E3 was around, it was open to the public. After that, it was closed to the public and only business people could get inside. What type of bullshit? You have a product that you want to sell to the general public, but they can't even go and see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No.
And palm.
That is asinine. that is beyond stupid. That's like saying, "Hey man, I want people to come to my restaurant, but it's not open to the public." What the fuck? How does that work? This is why E3 is irrelevant. And then they open it to the public. Do you know how much tickets cost at E3?
Nearly a console's worth of gaming is the price of those tickets.
Wait, I'm gonna look it up. EA ticket prices. Sorry, E3 ticket prices. Okay, for a 3-day gamer pass. For a 3-day gamer pass, this is from the actual convention. For a 3-day gamer pass is $150. So that's not the price of a console. Okay.
Okay, that's
not the price. Of a console. But wait.
I was off.
But wait. That's just, there's only 1,000 after the first. That's only for the first 1,000. The tickets go up after the first 1,000 to like day passes, and those can go. Those go up to 100. They add another $100, so then it's $250.
You're getting close to hitting the Switch's price.
Well, what, the Switch is what, $350?
$300.
$300.
Okay, fine then. So you get the Switch in one game, let's say, $350. Okay, because no one's just gonna, because the Switch, I mean, when it first came out, didn't fucking come with a pack-in game, so you had to buy a game. So it was $350. That's still really fucking expensive. And here's the thing, that's not an impulse buy. In California, you could easily get a shitty, cheap motel and a ticket to Disney World for a day and have more fun. So, you know, that is not an impulse buy. That is, okay, I planned this out. That is I planned this out buy. So, you know, I mean, like there's a reason that E3 is becoming increasingly more irrelevant, because the only people who can attend it are people who are in the industry or in the video game press. That's it. Like, it's not open
or people who are friends with people in the industry or the insiders in the gaming press.
It's not for, like, okay, I live in the DC metropolitan area. We have the Smithsonian. Smithsonian Museum has a huge amount of foot traffic. You want to know why the Smithsonian has such huge attendance numbers? Because it's fucking free to go to. By and large, yeah, there's special stuff like IMAX screenings and stuff like that. But by and large, most of, like 85% of the shit they have at the Smithsonian museums, you can go and see for free. Okay, you can go and see Julia Child's Kitchen. You can go and see the original Muppets. You can go and see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 1989 movie costumes, which is fucking awesome, by the way. For free, for absolutely nothing. Just getting down there and you go walk into the Museum of American History and see the shit. It's great. You can see all the Sesame Street puppets for nothing, for free. Whereas if you're a video gamer and you want to go to what all these dumbass people on the YouTube gamosphere, this is Christmas for gamers. If you want to go to E3, you got to spend between $149 to $249. And that's just to get in. That's not if you are someone from another part of the country where you had to pay to go there, whether you flew there, drove there, took the train there, took the bus there. I mean, I guess you could take a boat there, but why? You get what I'm saying? It's just, this is why E3
inconvenient.
Well, this is why E3 is irrelevant, because it's not open to the public, it's too expensive, and they aren't catering to the people who could have carried them through. It's fucking open. It's only for the industry, and the prices I quoted, the 100, the 149, that was from last year. We don't know what it's going to be this year.
Yeah, but if anything, it does. I just realized that does get close to the price of a Switch, at least when you when you add in the fact of. Huh?
I have a correction. I have a correction I have to make. Correction.
What is it?
The gamer badge is $249. That's if you're a gamer. The premium badge with all the amenities, the VIP lounge, the dedicated service for E3 hotel reservations, you know, the creme de la creme premium badge. You know how much that motherfucker costs?
$1,000.
You're close. $995. You're off.
Do they give you an escort? Do they provide you an escort as well?
I was about to say the only way I would pay $1,000 to go to E3 is if they provided a really hot woman who was a cunning linguist who was able to suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
Holy crap!
That's the only reason.
For that
That's
price.
the only way I'd pay $1,000 for a 3-day pass.
God dang!
That is ridiculous.
Now, if they did that, I'd be like, well, you know, I don't give a fuck about E3, but this lady is really talented with her mouth. Well, I didn't. It's like, how was E3? I didn't go to E3. I just spent my time in the hotel room with the escort. What games did you see? I played some games, but they weren't video games. I was pressing a button, but it wasn't a button on a controller. But anyway,
You're having too much fun there.
well, you know, I'm using lots of double entendre and euphemisms and colloquialisms in order to get my point across. But like I said, yes, you're right. Basically, for $1,000, you could get all 3 consoles. You could with well, I wouldn't say one game. You could get well, considering that the Xbox One and the PS4 have bundles, you could get a bundle. You could get both. You could get the PS4 bundle with 2 games. You get an Xbox One with 1 game, and you could get Switch with 1 game. You get all 3 consoles for the amount of money it would cost to get a premium badge to go to E3. That, my friends, is what I like to call some grade A, fresh
BS
cow bullshit right there. That's some grade A primo. This cow's been eating grass all day, and it's got to go. It's got to let it out.
Then we can move on to the next company.
Yeah, we can. Next little bit of bullshit is Valve. Well, I think we can all say that Artifact is dead.
It lost 99% of its player base.
To no one's surprise, Valve, Artifact is dead. I think we can all agree he dead is quite appropriate for Valve.
No kidding there.
I mean, is anyone sad about that? I mean,
I'm kind of disappointed that Valve screwed themselves over with this.
Well, I mean, basically, like card games, like digital card games are really hard to get off the ground. Like the only one I can think of is the Magic digital card game. And Hearthstone, is that what it's called? Hearthstone?
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's like really like the only reason the Magic card game is a thing is because it managed to leverage the physical Magic game. Like even there isn't even a good Pokemon digital card game.
The card game is still standing.
So I mean, no, I mean the physical card game, yeah, the physical card game's still going, but there isn't a good digital card game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Pokemon is huge.
I was saying that the digital card game
there is a digital Yu-Gi-Oh card game on the Switch that's also confirmed to be coming overseas. So it's still not. So digital card games is still not dead yet.
No, they aren't dead, but I mean, really, there's only like there's only like 2 of the biggest ones out there. There's the Magic card game and and Hearthstone. Like the other ones are just like Magic is the biggest. Magic the Gathering is the biggest fucking like physical card game. It's bigger. Like Yu-Gi-Oh. Let me put it this way: Yu-Gi-Oh, the Pokemon trading card game, all those other trading card games could combine. They're still not as big as Magic the Gathering. And if Magic the Gathering isn't like fucking huge digitally, then like, I mean, why was Valve trying to get in? I mean, I know they saw dollar signs, but seriously, like they had no viable reason to think that it was going to succeed. I feel sorry for the people who lost their jobs, but it is what it is.
Valve did that to themselves.
And they even got the Magic the Gathering guy. They're like, yeah, we got the Magic the Gathering guy. He's gonna bring it all together. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna work, but You keep
Try your
going,
luck.
bro. Yeah. I mean, personally, I felt kind of bad about it, but what are you gonna do? You know. I feel sorry for the people who lost their jobs, but you know, like I said, what are you gonna do? You know.
As well as the game's art designer leaving.
The art designer left. Who? Sheesh. Who hasn't left?
Well, I think the whole team is gone. You know, it is what it is. You know, maybe. Well, I mean, I don't know why I'm like, well, maybe things will change. No, they're screwed. Artifact is done.
Yep.
What are you guys talking about? I had to step away for a little bit.
We're still talking about
Artifact
Valve.
was.
Well, their new IP, Artifacts, which is failing so much that it's pretty much dead at this point.
And since I already saw its end.
Well, I mean, when basically people were struggling to find someone to play the game with, I kind of knew, yeah, this game is screwed. I mean, it's so screwed. Not even slightly screwed, just very, very, very screwed.
Royally screwed.
Yeah. And now that the main guy who ran it is like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. Yeah, it's over. And I feel bad about it, but I mean, you know, what are you gonna do?
Probably will give them a wake up call to finally start counting after 2.
Yeah. And to think all of this could have been avoided had they just counted to 2, you know.
Oh.
I mean, count it beyond 2, you know. Had they just done that, no, we can't do that, you know. And all the money that Gabe Newell has, he just won't count. He just won't count 3 at Valve.
Oh.
I mean, how can you have all that money and not count to 3?
That's the biggest joke of all.
That's what gets me. I'm like, how you gonna not count to 3 and got all that damn money? I mean, I don't have a lot of money. I'm okay. I do all right, but I mean, I can count to 3. Shit.
That's the best joke of all time when it comes to Valve. Them not being able to count to 3.
Say it with me. Say it with me, Valve. Half-Life 3. Let's say it again. See, what's another one good? What's another good one?
Let's see. Another game from Valve. There's Team Fortress 2.
Left 4 Dead 3.
Portal 3.
Portal 3. Counter-Strike 3.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to count to 3.
He just can't count to 3. He's like, hey man, I can't. No man, I can't get to 3. I can't do it.
You know, you know what the best solution is? Just make the third sequel, but not number it, but not add 3 on the title number.
How will people know?
Yeah, that can only work for so long.
Like instead of calling it Counter-Strike 3, just call it Counter-Strike subtitles.
I don't know. I think they should go with 3. It should always be a numbered thing. So then people will know. Oh man, they're making Portal 3. Yes, finally! God damn it! I finally get Portal 3. Because people have been hoping for a Portal 3 for years. People really people want that. People want that.
Want that more?
Sequelitis?
Want that juicy lore on the Portal series?
No, man, they want that Half-Life 3, man. That's what they want. They want that Half-Life 3. Here's they keep on making shit that people don't want. Look, if they just made Half-Life 3, just seriously, legitimately made Half-Life 3, people would stop bothering them.
But nope.
And it won't be long until some of their voice actors die before Half-Life 3 comes into fruition.
Like seriously, just make Half-Life 3, man. Shit. Just give people their damn Half-Life 3, damn it.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's
not like it's not like you don't have the money. That's all I'm saying, okay? I mean, if you were it's not like you're platinum where it's like we only have a certain amount of money and we can't go beyond this certain amount of money, blah blah blah. It's not like that. I know you guys got money.
And we know that somebody around there is able to count the 3.
And they refuse to count the 3. They're like, no, we will not be counting the 3 anytime soon, my friend. We will never count the 3. And don't ask me to count the 3 either. You better not ask me to count the 3. It sounds like you'll get slapped in the face if you work at Valve and try to count the 3. Like, you motherfucker tried to count the 3? Get the hell out of my face. I'm sorry. That's really rude of me.
It's time to move on.
Yes, that is true. So, our next little bit of news. Don't worry. Those of you in the chat section, ask your questions, and we'll get to them. Because we're saving comments till the end. We got plenty of time. This podcast ends at 9. We got plenty of time to wrap things up. That's 51 minutes away. We got time. All right. So with that being said, let's keep the party going. The last little bit of official info to cover is it's a little bit of something. It's Nintendo. They're apparently they're doing a little something for those people who want VR. They're giving you cardboard to do
I did a good laugh.
It feels like a troll, but if people take this shit seriously, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I don't know what to say.
I got a good laugh out of that because seriously, you guys want VR so badly, you're getting even you're even slobbering at Nintendo's Lavo.
And to be fair, this is pretty much the least offensive thing that we've covered out of all the companies' BS.
Yeah, it's just like I said. It's either
It's not
a troll. If it's a troll, it's a brilliant troll. And if people take it seriously, I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it is funny because this. I mean, the Nintendo Switch just can't do VR because of its 720p screen. It has to be able to have like I think like 120 refresh rate. Which I don't think
Man,
it has.
I don't care. All I know is it's like basically it's like someone came up to someone and said, "Hey, man, are you gonna fix this? Here's some cardboard." That's basically. It's like that's really fixing the problem. Just use this cardboard right here.
At least so far, this is going to be the only game that will utilize VR on the Switch.
But in a serious note, I wish this VR shit would go away. I just really wish it would just go the fuck away. I'm so tired of virtual reality. Like I'm just really tired of VR.
Yeah, I mean, what in the world are you guys thinking if you want VR more than real life?
Well, I mean, VR, if it's used well, could be awesome. But the thing is that most games I see that use VR, it's like the game isn't built around
Tacky.
VR. They're just tacking it on there just because, you know?
What about that PlayStation VR game that's supposedly the Super Mario 64 of VR?
Yeah, but haven't they said that about a lot of games?
I mean, the game was well received among both critics and gamers.
Wasn't that Fox game supposed to be the Super Mario 64 VR?
Ooh.
Isn't that the one for the Xbox One?
Yeah, that weird Fox game. They were like, "Yeah, man, this is VR compatible and all that shit."
I don't remember anyone saying that about that game.
People really went all out for that game. They're like, "Yeah, this game's fucking awesome." I was like, "I'm not seeing it." Whatever. Frankly speaking, I just don't care. I hate most. It's not that I hate. I hate VR because resources that could be put into making better games are taken away from that in order to make, in order to put VR into shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's my problem with VR. I don't like. I don't like people taking resources from things that should be for things that might not be that good anyway. And I know some people are gonna get mad.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that can't be done in VR at all. I mean, who would want to live through a FPS through VR?
Well, I mean, FPS is one of the few things that would work with VR, and maybe like a mystery game, a horror game. But they're doing things in VR where it's like, come on, man, this doesn't need VR.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we've
we stomped on VR's balls enough.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Even while wearing our awesome
Sunday's best.
steel-toed boots, our heavy steel-toed boots. Let's get to some of these. Comments and questions from the viewers. Something in my eye that won't go away. Damn it! It won't go away.
You might need to brush your eyebrow off a bit.
No, this happens every once in a while. Okay, so we've got a bunch from Jorge Zaldivar and quite a few from some other people. So, okay, what do you think the sixth fate will be in the Blaze Blue cross tag battle? Anyone want to tackle this? Because I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Oh boy, that means it's all pinkies. Since I'm not sure.
What was the following question?
What do you think the sixth fate will be for Blaze Blue cross tag battle?
The sixth fate?
Yeah.
I have no idea either.
Neither do I. I'm not a big Blaze Blue person. I'm more of a Guilty Gear.
You're more of a Guilty Gear fighter.
I'm a Guilty Gear person. So, like for me, Guilty Gear is the logical progression for Street Fighter 2. My guesses are the Fate series, Ikitosen, Kohime, Muso, Melty Blood, Senran Kagura, or SNK. It could be any of those. I mean, I would go more towards SNK, but
And thank you for reminding me, because I was remembering something that we should have mentioned earlier one time, and I actually was having a good laugh from it.
All right. And he says Capcom should collaborate with Disney again for a few Pixar games, just like the good old days.
Is there a third-party company that still has the Pixar license?
I mean,
Nordic.
I know back in the day, Disney Interactive made games. I don't know who made those shitty. Like, here's the thing. I don't have the same reverence for Disney games like other people do. Like, I think the NES ones were good. The ones made by Capcom for the NES, except for Tailspin. That game is balls of the wall hard. And then the 16-bit rolled around, and some of those games were good, and some of them were just really fucking hard. Like that damn Lion King game. Jesus Christ, that game is
the Toy Story game is one that I remember being just.
Yeah, Toy Story is hard. I mean, those games were just unnecessary. Pixar games. I mean, the thing is like the only game that I would like. The thing is that most like games based on like properties, like movie-based properties, tend to suck. Even Disney ones. Now, if they're based on a movie, if they're based on a character, like those, like Epic Mickey 2, those are actually pretty good games. But I mean, are those good games because they have Mickey Mouse in them, or are they good games because Warren Spector made them, who's like a legendary video game designer? So, I don't think those are good games because Disney's properties are there. I think they're good because those are games made by a really good developer. If you ever criticize game companies, all I can think about is conspiracy. If I can enjoy the game, if the game is not over $100, I'll play it. Well, I mean, that's your opinion. I mean, personally, I just like, for me, here's the thing. Okay, I work hard for my money. All right. I'm not at like my games. Like occasionally, my girlfriend will buy me a video game, but by and large, I buy my own games. And I work hard for my money, and I don't want someone fucking over my wallet. Like, I don't want to feel like someone took my purchase for granted. So when someone puts out some shit and they expect me to buy it, and they didn't even try to disguise the fact that what they put out was shit, I'm offended. Like, I don't like that. I mean, how do you guys feel about it?
I agree with you on how you be offended. Though, if anything, I try to take it game by game or purchase by purchase. Like,
yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna look at it differently. Like me, like I'm not gonna get any of the Capcom Resident Evil games. First of all, I already have those games 2 times. Like I already have Resident Evil 4 3 times over. I have it on the I have it on the GameCube. I have it on the Wii, and I have it on PC. Like I have that game enough times, you know. I have Resident Evil 0 enough times because I got the collection for the GameCube that came with Resident Evil 1 remake and Resident Evil 0. And plus it came with like a soundtrack CD. I have enough. I have these games enough times over. You know, it's not like I need to have them multiple times on multiple consoles, unless the game's really good, like RE4, which is really fucking good. But Pinky, you have any thoughts, Kenoshi?
On the whole, buying the same game on different platforms.
No, like, should we accept bullshit? Should like calling out bullshit with these companies? Is this like a do you think it's kind of like, well, are we being are we being kind of like how can I put this?
Well, if we want to call
a little too harsh, or is it just, you know?
Well, if we want to call out these companies for their biggest tactics,
they're trash.
We just have to vote with our wallets and not buy them at all.
All right.
Of course, that's going to be difficult to influence everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, basically, it's going to boil down to how you feel about it, and it's subjective. Like me personally, like I said, I refuse to give them my money. And even if the game is good, like for me, like I can't. Like when I was younger, I'd be like, okay, like when I was younger, I'd give BioWare the benefit of the doubt. It's like I hate EA, but I like BioWare. But now it's like if I support them on the little things, they're still gonna think that they can get away with the big stuff. So I mean, even if I do like a certain game, I can't support it because they can get away with other shit too. So you know, I can't do it. He says Arc System Works isn't much of a good company. Well, I mean, that's subjective. I think the last 2 or 3 games they came out with are pretty good, but they had a pretty good run for a while. I mean, aren't pretty good, but they had a pretty good run for a while. Guilty Gear, like the 4 or 5 Guilty Gear games that came out during the 6th gen, and then Guilty Gear, the Blaze Blue games that came out towards the 7th gen. I mean, it isn't until they started going, they went 3D models with their characters instead of the cell shaded art style. I think kind of went downhill a little bit, but whatever. So Jorge Zaldivar has another question. Which company would you put out of their misery? He says he would do Konami for killing Hudson Soft. Arc System Works for Grand Blue Versus. So what game company would you put out of their misery, folks?
I think, let's see.
Either Capcom or Square Enix.
I think Blizzard.
And that's harsh.
I think I'll go with an unobvious answer in Blizzard. I know pretty much all they have right now is WoW and Overwatch. So
and Hearthstone.
Damn, that is harsh, man. I mean, you know, I get where you're coming from, but that's just
brutal.
And I believe
I mean, no, that's Valve.
I'll tell you a company I would put out of their misery because it's not working. I would put Square Enix. Square Enix needs to stop. This needs to end. Because they have so many IPs that they're doing fucking nothing with.
It's like watching a train wreck.
Well, like I'm just tired of them destroying them destroying IPs that I grew up with or that I have like a huge fandom towards,
Passionate about?
and they just continuously just destroy them. Like I'm tired of it. Like I'm tired of looking at them destroy things that I love. I don't like that. But
Yeah.
everyone has their own. Kenoshi? Oh, you already said who you wanted. Okay, so
Let's see. I think we hit everyone from Konami to the Square Enix to probably Capcom, I think.
or Crapcom, as we like to call it. Hey, man.
Yeah.
You like some Crapcom?
If anything, if I had to choose someone else, the champions of the Golden Poo.
EA?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, EA is so easy, though. Activision.
I know.
Activision has to go. I'm sorry. Like, the shit they've been doing where they're like, oh, let me just fire all these people because I haven't been doing my job.
That's the thing. I know.
And then give like, oh, you guys need to cut your costs. You need to cut your costs. Oh, but I'm gonna hire this motherfucker who hasn't done shit for $15 million signing bonus. That is some bullshit. That's some grade A bullshit right there.
Yeah. And the reason why I said that was too easy to go at EA.
Well, because EA makes it so easy. Because they can't stop. They won't stop. Keep on fucking up. Jorge Zaldivar has another comment. BioWare is finally getting what they deserve. I really don't want to agree, but I have to also just basically say, yeah, you're right. It's sad, but what are you gonna do? So he has another comment. Aren't I disappointed in the fact that Pokemon Gen 8 is starting on the Switch? I was hoping it would come to the next handheld by Nintendo. Switch will hurt online play and trade. They'll get online play and trade down, but I'm not really disappointed with Pokemon Gen 8 starting on the Switch. I just I've become
he's only disappointed because it's not the type of Pokemon game he wants.
No, I've just become more and more disinterested in Pokemon, starting with Alpha and Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. Like, I was like, this is kind of a step back. And then Sun and Moon were kind of even more of a step back. So I was like, that's okay. Here's the thing. Back in the day, I used to be like a hardcore Pokemon person. I bought every single game. I would buy, both versions, trade with myself because I've always had two Nintendo handhelds, like two Game Boys, two Game Boy Colors, two Game Boy Advances. Like I've always had, and like I've always been able to do that. But it comes a point where you don't care about certain things the same way you used to. So yeah, Pokemon's going to continue to be the same shit it's always been, more or less. Well, I take that back, not the same shit. It's going to follow basically the same formula, more or less. They'll just, make small tweaks here and there. So, if the overall formula is just not really doing it for you, then you don't have to play it. There's other stuff to play. There's Dragon Quest Monsters, which is way more what I want than Pokemon. So I'll go with that. So you're glad that Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 is removed from EVO, more BlazBlue cross tag battle for you. Soul Calibur 6 is finally making its debut in EVO. Long live Namco. Soul Calibur 6 isn't that good. I mean, it's okay. Let me put it this way. It's better than Soul Calibur 5, but Soul Calibur 5 was a fucking dumpster fire. So, I mean, that's like saying, well, you know, this lady kicked me in the nuts, and then the next time I saw her, she just slapped me in the face. Well, I mean, getting slapped in the face is infinitely more attractive than getting kicked in the nuts, you know?
But neither of them are a welcome feeling.
So neither is welcome, but it's like if someone said, okay, you're either going to get kicked in the crotch or slapped in the face, it's like, well, I'll take the slap. You know, if I have to have one, because I can deal with a slap, the crotch shot is just that's too much. So which fighting game do we find underrated? He says SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy makes your list. Rather deep power-ups. See, now I know you're trolling, because that game is not deep.
Also, because it had waifus, and Original Salvabar is really into waifus a lot, including the underage ones.
No, SNK Heroines is not a deep game. SNK Heroines is like basically Smash Brothers 64 with waifu characters, which isn't bad, but that's not a deep game. Like, not really. It doesn't even have the depth of 64, but that's the closest I can get in terms of like for people who haven't played it. You say Square Enix isn't that bad. They just need a little encouragement for other IPs like Einhander. No, Square Enix is that bad. They are that bad.
Yes, they are.
You know, the reason Square Enix is that bad is because, like, it would be one thing if they just continuously fucked up their own core franchises. I mean, that's bad enough. But on top of that, they're sitting on a treasure trove of really good IPs that if they weren't sitting on them would be out making money. So no one else can use them, okay? Like, they're sitting on Ogre Battle. They're sitting on Lufia. They're sitting on ActRaiser. They're sitting on Live Alive. They're sitting, like, there's all of these IPs that they're just sitting on, like, doing fucking nothing with them, and no one else can do anything else with them.
Yep.
So he says, I don't know, Capcom is doing well. Street Fighter V is being polished up. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite looks rather promising. DMC 5 looks good. Here's the problem. Street Fighter V is being polished up like 2 years after it came out in an appalling state that it should not have. Like no one in the hierarchy of Street Fighter V should have said that Street Fighter V, in the making of that game, should have let that game come out in the state it was in when it came out. Same thing with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. DMC 5 looks good, but I mean, like, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day. Gen 4 made up my golden days as a Pokemon fan. Jorge Zaldivar says. I mean, good for you. I mean, I'm not, like, my favorite gen was Gens 1 and 2. That was like my
Mr. Classic himself.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Back in the day kind of myself. Gen 3 is okay, but I'm not like, oh my god, I love this, it's the best ever. Gen 4 is good too. Like, basically all the way up to like Gen 5 I'm down with, but after that I'm just like, is there anything that I can't say? Is there anything? You mean is there any company that I don't say anything bad about when it comes to video games? Well, there's no company that's perfect. I mean, I used to give Nintendo a lot of the benefit of the doubt, but when they started doing fucked up shit, I wasn't going to be like, well, they've done a lot of good stuff, and I'm going to give them credit for that, but I'm not going to ignore the fucked up shit too, because that is bias, and you cannot take someone seriously who sees everything through rose-tinted goggles, because or compartmentalizes and just like excuses things that are fucked up. Like you can't do that. You can't take them seriously, and you know. So we have a comment from Weister20, a question. Thoughts on the current state of Resident Evil? What do you think Shinji Mikami feels about it? Who wants to tackle this one?
That's a tricky one for me since I'm not sure the topic myself.
All right. I think Shinji Mikami has kind of washed his hands of the RE franchise, which is sad because he helped create it. I think RE has become a little bit too actiony, and now they're trying to make it horror again, but it kind of lost its Resident Evil feel. I think Resident Evil, I think the pinnacle of Resident Evil, a lot of people will say that this is, you know, that it was too actiony, was RE4, but RE4 for me kind of struck the balance because it was actiony enough that people who are into action games could play it, but it still retained a lot of the Resident Evil core where it's like, this is terrifying. Like the first time you met Dr. Rectango, that crazy motherfucker with the chainsaw, who would run at you with that bag over his head and slice your ass down. Like that was horrifying because you'd hear him before you saw him. I think that Resident Evil kind of is like, I think Capcom doesn't know what the hell they're doing with Resident Evil, and I think the only reason the current Resident Evil has done well is because they basically, like, it kind of lucked into it. I don't think it was good because they actually wanted it to be good. You know, and I think people were so starved for Resident Evil that wasn't just some action-y bullshit, that even the new Resident Evil that was just kind of more like geared towards horror kind of, you know, got them more because it wasn't some action-y bullshit that Capcom been forcing down people's throats with RE5 and RE6. Here's one for the Pokemon fans out there. Which Pokemon do you think could use a cross-gen evolution?
You know, like previous gen Pokemon that get later evolutions in later gen games.
Yeah, like they did with
they did Pokemon Silver.
And you know,
the Gen 5 monkeys.
Rhydon, Rhyhorn,
and Rhydon, which got a next gen evolution with Rhyperior.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. For me in Pokemon, like basically in Pokemon, the general widely accepted view is that the more evolutions a Pokemon has, the more powerful they can become. So basically a Pokemon that evolves from the pinnacle was like if it had 3 evolutions. Like if a Pokemon went from 1 evolution to another evolution to a 3rd evolution, like a 3 evolution Pokemon was generally more powerful than a 2 evolution Pokemon, which is more powerful than a Pokemon that just stayed in one form its entire, life. So generally speaking, like the only reason they added cross-gen Pokemon evolutions was because there were Pokemon from the first gen that should have been more powerful, but they wanted to make them more competitive with like later types, that were added later on down the thing. So that's why they added the 3rd form for those 2-form Pokemon. So I mean, I think there are Pokemon that could use a 3rd form. Like I don't know, maybe Snorlax. Since they added the baby form and they added the bigger form, maybe they have another Snorlax form that's like even fatter than Snorlax.
People have been wanting a Jinx evolution ever since Smoochum was introduced. And when Electabuzz and Magmar got their own evolutions.
I'd be into it, except Jinx kind of racist, so no.
She has purple skin now.
I know, but they shouldn't. I'm not going to get into that.
It's still a touchy topic.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I would say that the best thing they could do with the evolutions is just to like maybe add, instead of doing cross-gen evolutions, maybe add some character specific. I mean, some Pokemon specific moves like TMs that are only specific to those Pokemon who are two forms. That maybe gives them like a competitive.
They have been doing that for generations.
Yeah, but some
some of them don't stay exclusive for long.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like something that's exclusive for just that Pokemon, kind of like how they did with Heracross, because Heracross has a double weakness to flying because it's a fighting bug type. So they were like, well, we got to give it some type of edge. Okay, Megahorn.
Megahorn is now.
Yeah, I know it's now like a super bug type for a lot of different bug types, but originally it was like exclusively for Heracross. That's what it was. That was the Pokemon because that kind of made up for the fact that it had the double weakness against flying type because it was a flying it was a bug fighting type.
Meanwhile, Voltaco still remains a Pikachu family exclusive.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because Pikachu overall as a Pokemon sucks. So it doesn't. It's like, oh, that's a cool move, man. Sucks.
But for how long exactly? Because I feel that the exclusive moves Pikachu got from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee might be transferred over to Sword and Shield to make it more powerful.
It doesn't matter because Pikachu as a Pokemon sucks. Even with all the different moves they're adding, they suck. Eevee is a better Pokemon because Eevee can learn a more versatile array of moves, and Eevee has the whole type thing, so you can like customize your Eevee. Whereas like let me put it this way, okay? If you have a level 100 Eevee, well, let's say a level 50 Eevee, and you give it one of the stones, or you get its typing to a certain level, you can get it to do some cool things. If you take a level 50 Pikachu and put it against my level 50 Vibrava, I can fuck up your Pikachu with a level 50 Vibrava.
Well, Eevee has a Z crystal exclusive to it that allows it to stat boost all of its stats.
Doesn't matter. I can still fuck it up with a level 50 Vibrava if I have the right move set. That's the whole point. Is like, but I mean,
with the right moves, you could do anything.
Fuck up anybody in Pokemon. But my point still stands that Pikachu overall is kind of a shitty Pokemon. The only reason people think that Pokemon is cool is because of that damn TV show. Not because it's a good Pokemon. Because trust me, anyone who's actually been playing Pokemon over these years, Pikachu is not really that cool. I mean,
people will say the same thing with Charizard because
of course they will.
Because Stealth Rocks.
Because Charizard has shitty.
Charizard sucks.
I mean, I admit that. Charizard's defense sucks. If you have a Pokemon that has a high critical hit rate, it's fucked. But it's fast. But that's neither here nor there. We're let down that the Muso Festival didn't reveal anything. Why were you expecting the Muso Festival to reveal something? I mean,
what's the Muso Festival?
It's a Dynasty Warriors event.
Yeah, it's where Tecmo Koei has their little like celebration of all things Dynasty Warrior games, the Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors and whatever spinoff they're gonna do. But their spinoffs don't do that well. Like the Muso games, like the Dynasty Warriors games do the best, and then Samurai Warriors after that, and then after that it's like the other games don't do all that well. Let me put it this way: Hyrule Warriors was a phenomenon. Fire Emblem Warriors was a phenomenon, but I don't think Fire Emblem Warriors did as well as Hyrule Warriors. You think Pennywise the Clown should make a guest appearance in Mortal Kombat 11? Yeah, that'd be cool, but which Pennywise? Is it going to be that new one, or is it going to be the old school one with based on Tim Curry, where he's like, "Kiss me, fat boy"? where he's got that pedophile look on his face when he's talking to Ben's brother. We float down here where they all float. Babette deserves
Some things just write themselves.
Babette deserves a proper evolution in the form of a jester or a Pyro, rather than a mega evolution. I don't know, man. Okay, Weister20 has a valid question. Any fan bases that went full retard lately? Full retard. Well, there's a lot actually. Let's see, the Pokemon fan base. Over the division that was caused between Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee.
As well as Sword and Shield.
And then Sword and Shield. Like, here's the thing. I just don't give a fuck. I really don't. I stopped giving a fuck about Pokemon when they stopped actually doing things, in my opinion, that were innovative. To the actual core gameplay of the series. Now, of course, I mean, they can't really alienate the core gameplay people of the series because, that's why a lot of people like Pokemon, because of the core gameplay of the series. But, that's just, that's me. I think that, let's see, who else went full retard? The people who said that Final Fantasy 15 is a good Final Fantasy game, I think those people went full retard.
Who's saying that? Who's dumb enough to say that?
What?
That's a good question.
To say that?
A lot of people have been saying that. A lot of people, well, Final Fantasy 15 is not bad. For a Final Fantasy game, it is. Yes, it is, because that shit's not Final Fantasy.
Also, the division between the Zelda fans regarding Link's Awakening remake.
What division?
In regards to the art style.
I mean, yeah, but no one's losing their shit about it. People are just like.
Well, people on 4chan are.
Yeah, but 4chan's where people go to act stupid. That's not a valid. 4chan is not an accurate representation of the Zelda fan base. 4chan is the dumpster ground of people who like to overreact. So I don't think
that's not how I view them. I view them as the majority of the internet community.
4chan is not the majority. That's the thing. Like it's like literally 4chan is like 5 to 10% of the fan base of whatever is on 4chan bitching about it. So that's not the majority. So if 5 to 10% of the people who like something are bitching about it, that's not the majority. I mean, I'm not saying you should ignore what they say, but you shouldn't give that much credence to it because. I mean, they're overreacting about some shit. They're the can with the little rock in it rattling.
They're the noise makers.
Everyone keeps telling me that.
Oh my god, the art style. Most Zelda fans who grew up with Link's Awakening, they're probably going to be like me. They're like, well, I'm not crazy about the art style, but if they add enough new stuff to the new game, I'll probably get it anyway. We aren't going on 4chan. Oh my god, angry typing on 4chan. Really? If you don't like it, don't fucking buy it. Don't go on 4chan aggravating people about the shit.
Let's see, what else where they went?
Other favorites went full retard. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I pretty much have. I think we pretty much exhausted the other people who went full retard. I mean, the Pokemon fan base, the Zelda fan base. I mean, like no other fan base. Like even though like other people have fan bases that they love, like your. Oh no, I know a fan base that went full retard. Those people. It's not the fan base really. Those people over there at Blizzard that showed off that damn mobile game.
Oh god, that game.
That's like Nintendo coming to E3, right? And having their digital conference, right?
Oh yeah, Soulja Boy went full. When he claimed that he was the one who made Reggie retired.
I hope he didn't.
Did I hear that right?
Yeah, he tweeted that
Because
he made a tweet saying that he was the one who made Reggie retired.
He didn't make Reggie retire. Reggie was like, "I'm getting old. I'm getting fat. I want to go and do something else and cash in my chips and go do something else."
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hell,
that is dumb beyond dumb.
I remember when Reggie was thin, and he's just gotten bigger over the years. I mean,
And Nintendo money, man. And
Yeah.
get to buy some. Get to buy some prime ribs. Some.
yeah, he's been eating good. He's been eating good. He's been doing. Look, listen. Even when shit wasn't selling well, he was eating. So it can't be that bad. Shit. Let's see. Boris Zaldivar has another comment. I think Pokemon Let's Go is making a mess of the series, even though it might be good. I don't think they qualify as core games. They aren't core games, but fuck it. I don't care. Look, they're made to cash in on people who like Pokemon Go. That's what they were made for, to cash in on people who like those games. Now, I personally don't like Pokemon Go, so I was like, nah, I'm not gonna fall for the bullshit. But everyone has their stuff. Why is Bandai fucking up everything for Namco? And don't start with me about the merger, because that's what they do. I think the Dragon Ball fan base has gone full retard. Not really. Now maybe the Dragon Ball Z franchise, yeah. But the Dragon Ball franchise has always been cool, because Dragon Ball was a really good series that didn't suffer from the power creep that we have with the series now, where they basically have to make up new power levels because everyone is too goddamn powerful.
Yeah, they're like they're universe breakers. They can destroy the universe.
This is Super Saiyan Rainbow. It's more powerful than Super Saiyan.
Oh,
Super Saiyan Fuchsia. It's not more powerful than my Super Saiyan.
Perhaps the
to me, after
nice line there.
Super Saiyan Dookie Brown's more powerful than Super Saiyan Rainbow.
we could say that the MCU fan base has gone full R ever since Captain Marvel.
Okay. I'm just gonna say this right now. Okay, I went to,
and this is kind of spoiling.
No, I'm not gonna spoil it. I went to watch Medea's funeral.
I feel sorry for you.
Well, I mean, I wanted to watch something really stupid that was going to make me laugh, and it succeeded. But while I was waiting for the movie to start, I snuck in and watched about an hour of Captain Marvel. And from what I saw of it, I have to say that Brie Larson's a really shitty actress.
You haven't noticed from Kong Skull Island?
Well, I didn't. I mean, like, I wasn't really like enthralled with her in Kong Skull Island, because the main character in Kong Skull Island that people were really looking at was the special effect that was Kong, and Samuel L. Jackson staring down Kong. Like, no one gave a shit about anything else except the special effects, because it's a monster movie. Like, a monster movie, the most important thing in the monster movie
is the monster.
Yeah.
Also the story and the characters.
Why
people remember the original Godzilla movie so fondly?
No, a monster movie is all about the movie monster. Like, when the creature feature is about the creature, that's what people remember. But here's my problem with Brie Larson. Brie Larson, the depth of her acting skills, like, she has not become a better actress since her Scott Pilgrim days. Like,
wait, what character did she play in? Wait, what character did she play?
She played Ramona in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, okay.
Her acting has not gotten any better since then. It's just as shitty then as it is now.
Does she still
say, well, she's a kid, she's a young person, so you can kind of let it slide. But there's no excuse for you to be this shitty of an actress now, especially when you've got, like, like how much of this is her being a shitty actress and her having bad direction?
She was physically attractive as Ramona Flowers, but now she just doesn't really look like what Captain Marvel should look like.
She's not pulling off Captain Marvel very well.
Nah.
And so basically watching the film, I have to say that it is literally one of the worst Marvel Cinematic Universe films I've seen. Now, I only watched an hour of it before I went to go watch Medea. But from what I saw of it, it's number 4 of the worst Marvel films.
Wait, does she essentially play Ramona Flowers in like all of her roles? Is she like that typecasted or something?
No, it's not typecast. It's just she's not a very good actress. Like she can't emote very well. You know what I'm saying? Like and when she does emote, it comes across as hammy and overacted.
That's kind of how Ramona Flowers is in the comic book. Like she doesn't.
Yeah, but look,
kind of like
I have the Scott Pilgrim comic. I understand that. But I'm saying that in the movie, like, you know how in the movie she's very stiff and matter of fact?
Yeah.
She's still like that.
Oh.
Like, she is not a good actress. I don't know why they keep on trying to cram her down people's throats, and not in a good way. But anyway, so basically, the film, I'm not going to go into specifics. All I'm going to say is this. It's number 4 of my top 5 worst Marvel films thus far, with number 1 being Thor: Dark World, because that movie sucks. It is bad. It's still better than anything that came out of the Zack Snyder DC Snyderverse, but it's really bad for Marvel considering how good their other films have been. Followed by Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, then Iron Man 2. Then Eric Norton's The Incredible Hulk, and then this film. Like it's pretty bad. It's not the worst. It's not the worst MCU film. It's just kind of bland and meh. But
Dark World. That was the first.
That was the second one. The second one. Yeah, that turd that no one wants to talk about. But basically, here's what I'll tell you. I mean, like, it's a filler movie. Like, not even Samuel L. Jackson can save this movie because it's rated PG-13, and Samuel L. Jackson can't curse in it. So you can't even have Sam Jackson cursing people out. Which, really, if this movie was rated R and you had Sam Jackson cursing at the Skrulls, what's that on your face, you green pasty ass motherfucker? It would be a better movie. What's that coming out of your face, you flat ass bitch? But you don't get any of that. So. I mean, if I don't give numerical ratings to films, but from what I saw, I give Captain Marvel a meh for mediocre in the definitive book sense. I don't mean in the connotative sense. I mean, mediocre is it's in the middle of the road, perfectly serviceable, but compared to how great the Marvel movies have been, it's kind of a disappointment. So, yeah.
That I can understand.
Yeah. Jorge Zaldivar says he doesn't give a shit about Melee being removed from Evo. I mean, it's about time for Melee to be removed from Evo. Melee has been dragging down the Smash Brothers franchise
Community.
Because everyone always wants everything. Well, it's not Melee. It's not Melee. Look, Melee was good for the time. Melee, when Brawl came out, Melee was fucking obsolete. Okay? There you go. And the Scott Pilgrim film made me cringe with the acting and effects too weird for my taste. I mean, like, it was a film for people who were in on the joke.
Yeah, it wasn't for everyone.
I don't like that movie.
It's not a film for everyone.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm sorry.
It's like Bubba Hotep. Bubba Hotep is for people who are fans of Bruce Campbell. If you are not a fan of Bruce Campbell, you are not going to like Bubba Hotep. So
it's not just the Scott Pilgrim it's for those who are into the joke. It's also for those who actually enjoyed the joke. It wasn't, if you were if you know what the joke was about,
Well,
but you weren't exactly laughing.
If you were into nerdy shit and you were into video games, Scott Pilgrim was your friend. You knew what this. Oh man, he got a 1-up. Hey, he played the Zelda sound when he got his sword. Oh, that's cool. Like, but if you aren't into shit like that, then you were like, because I took my girlfriend to go watch Scott Pilgrim, and she
was lost.
No, she actually likes video games, but she's not into she's not in the Legend of Zelda or like Nintendo.
I'll admit, Wreck-It Ralph is probably a better one of those sort of thing. Maybe as it comes to appeal, because we
saw Wall-E and that was a great film, but it is what it is. And we'll end it with Jorge Zaldivar's last thing. He loves Samuel L. Jackson.
We all do.
We all love Samuel L. Jackson. To misquote Samuel L. Jackson from the Chappelle Show, bitch, this is my beer, Samuel L. Jackson, made by me, Samuel L. Jackson. Why are you yelling at me? I always talk like this. Haven't you seen my movies? One last question. Which anime would I like to see spawn a Streets of Rage style beat 'em up? Grappler Baki or History's Strongest Disciple Kenichi. But there you go. That's the end. We reached the end of the podcast. You guys pimp out what you want to pimp out and then we'll wrap things up.
I got nothing, but if anything, I'm still having a good laugh at Artifact's defeat. So
I don't even know who you're talking about, but
I was saying I'm having a good laugh at Artifact's defeat, which is Val's biggest screw up yet. Or latest screw up so far.
I mean, it's been a long time coming because they've been fucking up for a while. But this is like a punch. This is a haymaker punch that was pulled all the way back when they started canceling Half-Life 3, Half-Life, Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3. Like all these games they should have been making, but they were just like, yeah, we'll just rest on our laurels with Valve. with Steam. That's what we'll do.
When they stop counting to 3.
You know, we're gonna make Steam boxes and a Steam controller and a Steam Link. Why is there no Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3? Why is none of this shit coming to this thing exclusively? No, hey, don't ask about that. So yeah, Pinky, anything you want to pimp out?
Yes. You guys remember the boom theme from DuckTales?
Yeah.
Apparently today's episode,
there was actually a song with it.
Yeah. And I posted an article that comes with a video clip of it for you guys to watch. Because the whole episode is pretty much a big reference to the moon level.
That is a really good. That is a really good theme, though. It really should be the final level theme of the game. It's so good.
They even gave it lyrics.
Yeah. I think that's by Floss, who really gets down into the nitty gritty of how awesome that could be. Let's see, where are we going?
Actually, it was a gal.
I mean, it's finally gotten official lyrics, not by Floss this time.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Kenoshi, pimp out what you want to pimp out, and then we'll wrap things up. Kenoshi. Oh, well. Okay, I guess it's me, Mr. Red Fox here, signing out. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to reach us, or if you want to reach me at BS Busters, you can reach me by, via email, Mr. Red Fox, bsbusters@gmail.com, or Mr. Red Fox, Matthew Wesley at Mr. Red Fox 91 on Twitter. So there you go. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe, share, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. Get it done. And remember, play your games, enjoy your games, and let's see, we'll end it with my favorite catchphrase, fuck Sony.
Yeah,